All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Abi Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Marakakadash. Double honors to the Apostle Elders Great Millstone, and solutions to brothers out there, preachers, words, sharing the truth. All right, real quick, I got this article here. It says WHO, World Health Organization, officials admit that they are preparing for possible nuclear weapon use in Iran. Okay, so yeah, so they tell you what they about to do. Okay, it's a lot of it's a lot of news going out, from the FBI saying there's going to be attacks on U.S. soil, and you got nuclear incidents. Foretelling what's about to happen. So what Esau does is called predictive programming. All right, it's like his self-fulfilling prophecies. All right, and Esau Edom is a so-called white man. That's his biblical nationality, Esau Edom. And you true biblical Israelites, so you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, and the Lord is the Most High Yahweh, through His Son Yahweh Shai, is orchestrating this war, to release the captivity, all right, from His people, the Israelites. Okay. So let me read some of this. It said officials at World Health Organization have admitted that they are preparing for a worst-case scenario nuclear threat if the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran escalates. Hanan Balki, WHO Regional Director for Eastern Mediterranean, said that staff remain vigilant for a nuclear incident following President Donald Trump's decision to bomb Iran in a joint campaign with Israel. All right, so those people that's over there, they're saying that they Israel, those are actually indeed Edomites. All right, from the tribe of Amalek, all right, which is the grandson of Esau. If you go back into the Chronicles, all right, the genealogy, all right. And Esau Edom, he's the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Okay, so he's ruling the planet Earth right now, man. Man, you got all hell breaking loose. All right. So, yeah, a nuclear event might happen, man. Okay. And this is gonna basically, this is basically World War III, but it's in its infant stages right now, okay? Because, World War I, World War II, you had different nations fighting against each other, all right? So you had a skirmish over there, a war over here, a war between two nations, and another war between two nations, and another war between two nations. That's what you call a world war, all right? So, the Russia-Ukraine thing, that's a war, all right? Now you got the Iran-Israel thing, all right? Then there's gonna be a China-Taiwan thing, all right? North Korea-South Korea thing, all right? So yeah, man. So with me far-fetched a nuclear, a nuclear bomb go off or something like that, some type of nuclear event, okay? Because in World War II, the atomic bombs were dropped on Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, all right? There was a little man and a fat boy. I believe those were atomic bombs, all right? Which is, it's some powerful bombs, but it's nothing compared to a nuclear bomb going off. all right, but it was still a tragic event, all right, that fucked Japan up, you know. So yeah, history rhymes, repeats, man. Okay, but ultimately, when it's talking about the nuclear missiles in the scriptures, you know, the nuclear missiles, you know, is going to be 200,000, you know, pursuing was that Revelation 9? Let's grab it real quick. I'm in Isaiah 54. Let me bring this Isaiah 54 out. Isaiah 54 and 16 said, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire." So that's the Most High saying he created the modern day scientist. All right. It's saying that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. And that's, you know, basically talking about the bombs, the missiles, you know, and leading up ultimately to the nuclear missile, because that's that nuclear bomb is you know, the highest form, you know, of Esau's weapon, you know, because the Lord said he's going to whet his sword, which basically means he's going to sharpen it. All right, so that most, you know, that best sharpened sword is the nuclear bomb, you know. And I was talking about Japan earlier with the little man, the fat boy. You know, that was a devastating bomb, but nuclear missiles, man, is way more powerful, and that's what the Lord said, whet his sword. All right, that was during the 40s, so you know, I believe the nuclear missile was like, what, 20, 30 years later, maybe. You know, starting with nuclear technology. You know, so yeah, man. I mentioned, was it Revelation 9 I mentioned? About the 200,000. Yeah, because Revelation 9 gets into World War I. Yeah, here we go. It said, one war's past, is verse 12, which means World War I. And behold, there come two more wars after, so World War II and World War III. So we're basically in the infant stages of World War III. Okay. And I want to get verse 16. Let me see what it says in the NLT. See, when people read this, they think about like foot troops, like human foot troops. No, it's actually talking about missiles, because KJV, I'm reading KJV, verse 17, it gets, describing the missile. It said, verse 16, and the number of the army was horsemen were 200,000. So 200 million. There wasn't no such thing as the word million back in the Roman Empire 2,000 years ago. And this is the Apostle John writing this vision on the Isle of Patmos 2,000 years ago. All right. It said, and thus I saw horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire. All right, so when you see a modern day missile um, basically flying in the air, what comes out? What's basically pushing that missile tip? All right, that missile. What is pushing it? Basically the fire, the fuel. All right, there's fire coming out that missile for it to fly. It's propelling it. Okay. Having breastplates of fire and adjacent and brimstone. So adjacent is like an orange red. Brimstone, is the fire. So the modern day fire and brimstone is what? The missile. Primarily the nuclear missile. It said, "In the heads of the horse were the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone." See, fire and smoke, and that's what propels the missile. All right, and the missile tip is actually where the power is at. All right, where the warheads are at. I believe you can. There's multiple warheads. As far as I know, it's like up to 10, but it might be more. And those individual warheads, make up that 200 million. Right? So it might be, let's say, 10 divided by 200 million. Let's see what the math is on that. So 200 million divided by 10. So it's like 20 million, of those. It could be 20, 30 warheads. I don't know, But last I heard, it was like around 10, all right? They might have more, So you're looking at like 20 million, of those, those missiles flying in the air hitting America, all right? I forgot what the actual, the body of the missile is called, okay? Because that's what's used to push the warheads to its designated destination, its target, all right? It said, "In the heads of the horses were the heads of lions, and out of their mouth," because lions, where their power at is on the teeth, The teeth, is a lion's power. Which represents those warheads. "And out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone. By these three was the third part of men killed." And that goes into Esau, Edom. All right, because he's the sons of the wicked. You got sons of God, which are the Israelites, sons of men, which are the nation, sons of the wicked is Esau, man. "By the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone will issue out of their mouths." It said, "For their powers in their mouth, the warheads, and their tails, which propels those warheads. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt." All right, so those missiles like 1,000,000 degrees Fahrenheit when it's actually, when it actually lands on you. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much. Yep. So, it wouldn't be far-fetched, like a nuclear incident happens, All right, but those, the actual scriptures was talking about the missiles. That's a prophetic event of America being destroyed, Great Babylon. with those 200 million missiles, all right? 200 million, 200,000 missiles, all right? And there's nothing's gonna be left over here except desert creatures. Yeah, that's pretty much, I'm gonna basically get the point. The WHO is preparing for a nuclear event, all right? So that's pretty much all I got. Shalom.